how do we know what are the good and are the wrong thoughts? Well, you can split them up into rational and irrational. How do you know if a rational thought is a rational thought, which is a good thought? You can ask 4 questions. Is it a fact? Am I sure of it? Is that always and everywhere the case? Does this count for everybody? If the answer to these 4 questions is yes, you probably have a rational thought. But most of the time people who have borderline personality disorder fall into the second part, irrational. They have irrational thoughts, which is very hard. But you can place them in 7 categories, which helps you. It helps you, how do I say that? Recognize them. Point 1, black and white thinking. Nobody wants to talk to me. That's very black and white, because there's always someone who wants to talk to you. 2, mind reading. That girl over there thinks I'm fat. You don't know that. 3, thinking in disasters. If I take that flight today, I'll crash. It will crash. That's thinking in disasters. Point 4, using a lot of phrases with I have to or I must do this and that. That's not really helpful. Point 5, digging up the past. Last week he didn't, well, he ignored me, and so he probably doesn't want to walk with me today. Which also is a little bit of mind reading. 6, overreacting and exaggerating. They'll never talk to me, and I always will be alone. Notice the words never and always. If you write your thoughts down and you have a lot of never and always, it's probably an irrational thought. And the 7th point is foretelling the future. If I go to this party, no one will talk to me. If I go to college, I will not make it. Which also a little bit of thinking in disaster. So, when you overlook your thoughts, you probably can see that what I just told you, there are a lot of irrational thoughts. Almost everything is a rational thought. So you have to work on them. And I have a few tips of working on rational and helping thoughts. Try to imagine what you would say to a friend if he or she was in your situation. Replace the words I have or I must by phrases where you use I want to or I'm allowed to. Maybe you should lower your standards a little bit, because they're probably way too high. And if you're afraid of what people think of you, try to think of positive things that they can think about you, because no one is all bad. So in the case of the birthday, I change my thoughts into the following. I take away this and I place this, and you're speaking to yourself. It's not a disaster. You have survived birthdays before, and there's a reason why people have invited you. Probably because they like you. And nobody is really perfect. And yes, you find it hard to start a conversation, but you're willing to try it. One step at a time. And if you sit at home, nothing will happen. And if you succeed at making just a little conversation, you can be proud of yourself and cherish that feeling. So we changed our thoughts, which in this case works for me. And you can always, this works for me, it doesn't have to work for you. But that is a way with also the rational and irrational categories. If you do it correctly, you cannot change the situation, but you can change your thoughts. Changing thoughts leads to different kind of feelings, and different feelings lead to different kind of behavior. and you can slowly work on yourself and maybe get a little better. So that's it for now. Thanks.